Tell
He
me what's
says,
going on, John. Tell me what's happening with the Big Ten. They have 3 of the top 4 rankings at this point right now. 3 undefeated teams. What's your view on who's ultimately going to rise to the top of that crop?
well, I do really like both Oregon and Georgia and Ohio State, even though I know, folks, that Ohio State lost at Oregon, basically when time ran out and the quarterback took a dive, but didn't get down quick enough, and thus Oregon beat Ohio State. Do they deserve it? Of course they do. They won the game. But Ohio State was that close to beating them in Eugene, Oregon, where not very many teams beat Oregon up there, folks. That will result in another game later this year. But Oregon, number 1 in the nation, Georgia, number 2, after just taking Texas apart this weekend, Mark. Penn State, number 3. They are undefeated, as you said, 6-0. And then Ohio State comes in at number 4. So 3 of those top 4 spots are taken up by Big Ten teams. And, you could throw that Miami team in that's probably 6th or 7th. They could crack that top 4 or 5 pretty quickly because they are 7-0, and that team is getting better week after week, Mark. There's a lot going on in college football that makes it very interesting for fans and bettors alike. Because,
right.
Again, that Georgia-Texas game, what a game. And it wasn't even a game for most of it, Mark. They just ran away from Texas. Georgia was ready for that one. All right. Pete wanted us to hit also the NFL's best quarterback. So, Mark, I have a feeling you know who this guy is. He's the quarterback for the Detroit Lions. Used to be out there with the Los Angeles Rams. But then, all of a sudden, Mr. Goff from the University of California, again, they barely lost to Miami in that game. The Golden Bears, my former Golden Bears alliances aside, Jared Goff, just incredible for the Lions right here, right, Mark?
There's no question about it. And look, this is very popular conversation, at any bar or restaurant on Sunday. If you're a Patrick Mahomes fan, the CJ Stroud fan, a Joe Burrow fan, Lamar Jackson, certainly a lot of talent this season in the QBs in the NFL. Question as to whether or not the coaches are using them to their highest and best use. That remains to be seen, but there was certainly no lack of football or baseball. I was surprised that Pete didn't touch at all on baseball with all of what went on here. I mean, holy cow, John. Friday and Saturday, the bars in New York City were, first of all, very warm. Summer, the sequel, still happening up here. So doors and windows open and people pouring out onto the streets. It actually felt like maybe the way New York was pre-COVID. But I'm surprised that we didn't get any baseball in there with all the action up here in the Northeast. But that's okay.
Yeah, well, we'll get to talk a lot of Yankees still, Mark, because the Yankees did clinch, and they're in there. And I think the Cleveland Guardians, I like to call them gladiators, almost made it. I mean, they gave the Yanks everything they could handle. But the Yankees just are, number 1, super talented. Number 2, stayed hot at the right time. To your point about temperatures, the team stayed hot, and just an incredible series. Enjoyed watching that one, Mark. And I think we'll be talking about the series tomorrow, I'm sure, and what it's shaping up to be, because this is going to be pretty special this year.